some examples here of how to deal with this negative sign, especially when we've got squareds here in some of these questions. So what we're going to do is you can click solution or walkthrough. The solution will just show you the answers to stuff. The walkthrough will give you a detailed step-by-step of everything. So let's go through the walkthrough of each of these. So the first one, we start with minus x minus 5. So this minus out in front of the brackets, that's going to apply to every single term inside of the brackets, and it's going to flip the sign. Whatever the sign is, if it was positive, it becomes negative. Like in this x example case here, this negative applies to this positive x, and it makes it negative x. Then the negative is going to also switch the sign of this negative 5 in here. So technically it's minus negative 5. So the minus gets applied to the negative 5. That's why we see here minus and then the negative 5 after that. Okay, so we've distributed this minus into the two terms thus far. Okay, so that job is done. Now we just have to simplify because it looks like a little bit of a mess. The minus x, there's nothing we can do, but the minus negative 5, those two minuses cancel each other out and become a positive. So that's why the final answer there is negative x plus 5. Usually we would write that as 5 minus x. Okay, there's a tip here which you can read later at your convenience. Okay, the next one, we have this negative, and then in brackets we have x minus 3 squared. For this one, we have to apply the squared first. We can't distribute in constants into like polynomials and stuff like that with an exponent. We can't do that. We have to expand this first. So let's do that. So it's x minus 3 squared. So that's what's happening inside of these double brackets here, is it's just expanding. So this is just notation. We haven't done any math yet. We're just writing out what it means to square this thing here. And notice that the minus is out in front of everything. All right, so now we do the inside stuff. I'm going to kind of skip over that because it's well written here. This is just a quadratic expansion here. And then we get to this part here, and that's where it's kind of interesting because now we can apply the negative, and that's what these exercises are about. They're about applying the negative. So we get a sign flip on each of these terms in here. So the positive x squared becomes negative x squared. The negative 6x becomes positive 6x, and then the positive 9 becomes negative 9. All right, and then for the last question, I'll just do this quick. You have a square here, so we're just writing out the notation. So what does it mean to square something in a bracket? It means you multiply it by itself. And then from here, all of these terms are kind of on equal footing, so you can move these coefficients around as much as you want. So the two negative 4's come together, and the two x's come together just to keep it neat and tidy. The negative 4 is multiplied to positive 16. The negatives cancel out, and then you're left with an x squared there. So that is the walkthrough. And again, if you want to just see the solution, if you want to just test yourself, you can just click the solution, and it just shows you the